In this presentation, we will take a look at retirement plans options within QuickBooks Online. For more accounting information and accounting courses, visit our website at accountinginstruction.info. Here we are in our practice payroll file. You can follow along in your own business file or take a look at the free test drive file that is provided by QuickBooks and Intuit. We're going to go down to the Workers tab on the left side. We're in the Employees up top, the Employees tab. You'll note that we have our 3 employees. We're now going to consider the options for setting up a 401k plan. Just from a logistics standpoint, where would you go to set up the different types of formats of a 401k plan? Once we have the payroll set up, we can do so by going into the employee options. So we're going to go down here into a particular employee option. We'll take a look at Judy Jones. So if we were to set up Judy Jones, we can go into the edit. Within the edit tab, we're going to scroll down to where we see these numbers. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We are considering number 3. This is where the deductions are. You'll note we have this option set up already. In this particular case, to set that option up, we would go to add a new deduction. So we're going to add a new deduction. If we select the items up top, is it a deduction or a garnishment? We're going to say it's a deduction contribution. Then we'll have our options here, and within these options, we're going to say it's a new deduction contribution. These are items we have set up already within this file. If you hadn't set up any other items, then you'd have less options here. We're going to set up a new deduction, and then we have the deduction contribution items. Is it an HSA, a retirement plan, other deductions, health, or flexible saving? We're going to have the retirement plan. So we're going to consider the retirement plan. Now, the 401k isn't the only retirement plan, of course. You want to think about the different types of retirement plans, what would suit your business best. To set them up logistically within QuickBooks, then we would test these items, and these are some items that the retirement plan, the format of the retirement plan could take. So a 401k catch-up, simple 401k, the simple 401k catch-up, the 403b, and so you could take a look at all these options. We have basically much of the retirement plan options are covered within QuickBooks, and you have to basically determine which retirement plan would be best for you and then choose the appropriate option here logistically. We put in the option of the 401k just as a familiar option that most people have the most understanding with. Not necessarily the best option for, say, a small business. It has pros and cons, so this is just looking into the logistics of how to set that information up. So we're going to go ahead and say close this back out, and you'll note once again if I go back into it, we have the 401k item here. Once you've set that up, QuickBooks will set up which accounts to be affected as you process the payroll as we go. So QuickBooks will then fill out that information for us. If I take a look at this item, open up this 401k, note this 401k has an employee deduction, which we put in as a dollar amount as opposed to gross pay, and it has an employer contribution. Again, these items will differ depending on our plan. This is all the data that we need within the system, and then QuickBooks will process this information once we process the payroll. QuickBooks will pull it out of the paycheck, and we could take a look at that. I'm going to close this back out, and we'll go to the accounting on the left side. We'll go to the checking account up top and view the register. And then I'm going to go down to Judy Jones's check for January. Here's Judy Jones. Let's take a look at that check and edit it so we can see the detail of this check. And so here's the gross pay. If we scroll back down, we can see within the deductions, there's the 401k being removed. This is the employee portion. And then if we scroll down here, here's the employer portion. So it'll do that for us with that simple data input, just putting in the employee and the employer portion by employee. It'll also set up the accounts on the financial statements. So if we close this back out, we'll then see on the financial statements, if we go to the reports and go to the balance sheet report, we'll select the balance sheet report, change the dates up top from 01/01/19 to 12/31/19. And we, of course, will set this up in our practice problem in detail so you can see this step-by-step setup process of the 401k and the effect on the payroll checks as we process them. But if we go back up top, we'll see the liability account for the 401k. This will include both the amount that we pulled out of the employee check that is now owed to the 401k plan and the amount that we contribute over and above if we have a contribution over and above what was pulled out of the employee pay. Then we're also going to look at the income statement. So let's do that by making a new tab up top. I'm going to right click on this tab and duplicate it. Pull the one from the left to the right. So the balance sheet's on the left, new report on the right. That report's going to be a profit and loss. We're going to go to the reports down below to find it. And then we'll open up the profit and loss, changing the dates up top from 01/01/19 to 12/31/19 and run that report. Scrolling back down, then you'll note that the other side of that item that came out of the paycheck is going to be part of wages. So part of the item for the 401k will be included here. This was Judy Jones is the owner. So part of that item was pulled out and is included in the gross pay that we took from the employees to contribute to their retirement plan. And if we scroll back up and go back to the report, we also have part up here, the retirement plan up here. This isn't all of the retirement plan. If I go back on this, just for January, we had that $1,750. That is only the employer portion that's being paid over and above the gross pay. So the employee took some out of their gross pay and put it into a retirement plan, which they get a tax benefit from. And we put more into it over and above their gross pay, which they don't even need to pay taxes on if we can qualify for that, which is a huge benefit. So this amount of the expense up here isn't the full contribution. It's just the amount that the employer is contributing. And the QuickBooks sets all this up just by entering that data into the employee information. It sets up these accounts and processes it in this format. This is basically the default settings of how QuickBooks will process this information. We'll see this information step by step. This example problem will make it in our example problem so you get to see it in detail. We'll analyze each check as it's being created and what the effect is on the financial statements and the reports. For more accounting information and accounting courses, visit our website at accountinginstruction.info.